G'day and welcome back to Duck Solar Gaming and Haut-Beyleron. Yes, we're back again in France, continuing on with our farming, and we are cracking straight into some baling. As you can see, we've got the case magnum here with our new case baler with the auger arms at the front. And we're going to head on over to our big grass field that we've just finished mowing, and we're going to get that baled up, ready to go. So let's head on over. All right, we're going to head on over there now and get that all done. We do need to also get this field and the field on the other side of the river rolled. We've just recently planted those as well. We're going to get them rolled in as well, but that will come a little bit later. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to head straight over there. We're going to get this baling. So we're going to be doing 240 bales, and we're going to just pick them up with our bale trailers. Now we're then going to put them, we've got two things to do. So one of the things I didn't mention in the last episode was that when we're going through and showing what we've done previous to the last video off camera, I failed to mention the fact that we've put in some bale storage sheds. So the bale storage sheds are just situated down here near the cows, which is also situated nearby with the grass dryer and all that, also the silage fermenter. So that's obviously where the grass bale is going to go, and that's the two sheds there. Okay, so we've put two sheds in case we do silage or in case we do straw or whatever else. We've got two bale sheds there. So we're going to come across here now, and we're going to get set up ready to go. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is because I'm going to have other stuff going at the same time, I am going to set this up, go up on a course by course again, and we're going to get that running, which will be fine. Now, when we went through and tidied up all this off camera from the stuff it missed, we have gone outside, so we will be doing, and also once we finish, we'll be doing another run around the edges to pick up the grasses outside of the boundaries of the field. But in the interim, we're just going to get this guy going, and then we can get moving with getting our fields rolled, and then also bring the truck and trailer over here to collect all the bales. So quite simply, we're going to get set up. So starting down here, we're going to do, I'm just going to do two headlands. I'm assuming the work width is going to be fine, so that'll be okay. Spiral, no. I'm going to do up downs. Actually, no, I might do spirals because I think spiral might work better in the fact it doesn't get caught up on its own bales again. So we're going to do that. There's no field margin. I think that should be okay. So let's generate that field work. Well, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Wonder. I'm back. If I do that, whether that actually has an effect. It does. Right. So is that going to work for us? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I think up downs is just going to be the way we're going to do it. I want to minimize all this crossing over will actually cause us more pain than anything else. All right. So first waypoint. As it starts to rain again, and we're just going to get him off and running. I did set it to be 40, I think. Too late to change it now if I didn't. Goes why? Right, no. Okay, so this has the problem. We've got a huge issue with things not being the right width. Right, let's go and have a look at this. baler. Right. What? Doesn't tell me what their width is, does it? No, it doesn't tell me their width. Right. That's really handy. Because it's more than 4.1 meters, isn't it? What was it set to? It's again. Great job. Start here. 4.1 meters. Let's try it with 10. I don't know what it actually is, to be honest. That doesn't help us at all. All right. I think it was about 10 though. Yeah, it's pretty close. That'll do. Well, just keep going. There we go. Yeah, oh, that's pretty close. So 10 meters is what it is. Right. Okay. Cool. So we're going to let him continue on, and he's going to pump out the bales as he's starting to do so now. So there's a bale in there ready to drop, and we're going to go continue on getting other stuff done around the farm. All right. I think the first thing we're going to do is going to grab Big Blue. There he is there. And we're going to go roll these 2 fields in. Nice and quick. Oh, what's what I was doing? Okay, let's go. Alrighty. Just get these done manually, and then that way we can just wait for them ready to harvest, and then we'll be good to go again. All right, off we go. Oh, just a bit on the edge. All right. So once we've got this done, I think once we've rolled these 2 fields, that's all the fields prepped and ready to go. Apart from, I pressed the wrong button as I turned. Just click the button. Disastrous. All right. Let's continue on as if we didn't do that. Yes, that's all the fields except for our potato field, the field closest to the pig farm that was our potato field. Have all been turned round and ready to go. So all crops are in whatever stages of growth they are for their period of time in their growth cycles. So that's all good. I'm happy with that. Turn around here. Back down again, and off we go again. Yeah, so that's good. Happy with that. So that puts us in a position where we can basically worry about all the other stuff that needs to be done supplementary to field work or anything else, so production work, animal work, all that sort of stuff. Can be the primary jobs to worry about for that period of time. We do need to go out and do some fertilizing of some of the fields, so we'll certainly look at that as well, and that will get done at a point in time. But for now, it's just a matter of getting these last 2 fields fully prepped, those in seeded and rolled, and then let the good times come with harvest, and then hopefully making some money from the products in whatever shape that turns out to be, whether it be selling them directly or making byproducts or whatever else. So we'll work that out. But yeah, come on, duck. Little bits and pieces, Mr. OK. So coming to the point in time now where, and hence that's the reason, obviously, for the Platinum Edition being released. Giants normally release that 1 year after the launch of the game. So we've had FS22 now for a year, and I guess we can sort of start contemplating what's been good, bad, and indifferent with FS22. I think by and large, and I've said this a few times, I think by and large, FS22 has been a success. Now, there's a couple of caveats to why I think it's a success. It wasn't a runaway success, I would not say, but certainly, again, with the help of mods, I think it has been a success. So, one of the things, obviously, that the Giants introduced with FS22 was the production chain, with the greenhouses and the dairy and all that sort of stuff. So they brought the base level of production into the game, so we can take our crops and products from like things like the greenhouses or animal products into manufacturing facilities, and then produce products for sale. Now, generally, by and large, the end product is always more profitable, generally more profitable than the base crop itself or the base ingredients, and that's a way to maximise your profits. But it does take a lot longer to get to that point in time, because you've not only got to seed the product or grow the product, whether it be plant based or in relation to animal based. You've got to have the young animals, and then you've got to feed them and support them and look after them, and then butcher them and do whatever else to get the product. Or alternatively, the sheep, obviously shear the sheep and get the wool, and then produce the clothing, or give the cows, milk the cows and get the milk, and then that goes off and is made into dairy products. So that part of it was really good, and it was then made even better and more in depth by the likes of our good friend Black Dragon with the Dragon Den pack, which is probably the best production mods I've seen for the game to date. Yes, there's been a lot of modders that have done individual bits and pieces here and there with other crops and things like beer and stuff like that. And I'm not begrudging any of those, but I think as a package, nothing has come close to what Black Dragon has done for FS22 with his Dragon Den pack, and that's why we use it so much here on our series, because we actually enjoy it a lot, and it brings a lot of extra playability to the game. Okay? I mean, there's still many products that I have not actually even produced at any point in time yet from the Black Dragon pack, and that's not just including the construction stuff from forestry, and that's a given at the moment. But a lot of products I haven't created. I haven't created any pasta yet. I haven't done all the meat products yet. I've only just started doing pasta sauce in this playthrough in the last 2 episodes. So there's a lot of playability and depth in his production pack, which is fantastic. And it's a shame that Giants didn't put so much extra thought into delivering that. The bad part of that was when Giants did their patching, what was it, 1.4, and they decided to limit the amount of pallets that we could have on the game. So they restricted both PC, Mac, and also consoles. Now, I get the console restriction if they were having issues with playability and all that sort of stuff, but from all reports, there wasn't many people reporting any problems with that. And so, yet again, it was modders that came to the rescue of the game. So, like, for instance, for my game, for my series, we were dead in the water. So, with that patch, if we hadn't have got a patch from the modders to fix the pallet problem, which was basically a huge reduction in the numbers, I would have stopped. There would have been no further work on FS22, and it would have been the end of the series and coverage of FS22 as far as I was concerned. Now, needless to say, that didn't happen, thankfully. It was only a small period of time that we had where we couldn't do anything um, because of the fact that we had the modders so quickly turn around and produce a solution for us. Again, kudos to our modding fraternity doing that. There's a couple of modders that did it. No, the particular one that I ended up using was one that not a lot of people ended up using, I guess, but it worked. And I'm still using it now to make sure that I don't have that problem going forward that Giants have introduced by limiting the number. Like they then patched it back up and they increased the number that are available. However, it still probably wasn't sufficient. And certainly for some of the stuff I'm doing at the moment, I would have already reached the cap in many situations. So anyway, that's that part. So there's the good and the bad of the production. Then we have the missions, so the contract work. So there was a lot of rework done with the contract works and the way it all was handled in the game and all that for FS22, and by and large, it was good. However, they then again, as Giants do, create a patch and break things. And contracts have been broken since around, again, the 1.3, 1.4 patch. And it's not been fixed at all since. And it has certainly broken gameplay for a number of players in that regard. I mean, for me, it doesn't worry me so much. I don't do contracts so much, although I have been remiss lately. I haven't been checking my contracts. And I do try to do some contracts. And it was another thing that they broke that they shouldn't have. Now, modders have come in and helped fix some aspects of it, but not all. But again, that's good try, Giants, and then you go ahead and break it and it kills off the game. And certainly for the likes of my good mate Jimmy J, it broke his multiplayer competition he was having on Twitch, on his Twitch channel, which is Triple J Jimmy J. Go search it up, you'll find it. It basically broke that to the point where he had to stop, and he's not been back to FS22 since. So there's an example of someone that was affected by the glitch or the Giants breaking the game, their own game, and that particular person and the others that have been playing with him have not come back to playing it. I mean, whether the guys that were playing with Jimmy on that are still playing FS22 or not, it's another matter altogether, and I don't know that for a fact. But I know Jimmy himself, he was so disgusted with it all, he stopped playing. He wrote a formal letter to Giants asking what the hell was going on, telling him what he thought, requested refunds, all that sort of stuff. And I mean, realistically, we know they're not going to give a refund at that point in time, especially Steam, all that sort of stuff. But it was just the fact that they broke the games. They effectively broke, I guess in a way, they broke the contract of making the game. They've made the game to be effectively fraudulent with their advertising and promotion prior to release of the game. So they were saying about the contracts being so much improved and all that sort of stuff, and then they've broken that to the point where it's just not playable. And so really, the game now does not have the same playability, or does it have the features that they promised. So therefore, in my mind, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a failure completely legally, they've failed to deliver upon their obligations. So therefore, for instance, if Jimmy is so adamant about the fact he doesn't like to play the game now because of that fact, then they should offer him a refund in kind, because it no longer meets the criteria of what they said it was going to meet. I know a lot of people have a differing opinion on that, and that's okay, but at the end of the day, it's pretty poor, is what I have to say. So, but anyway, so there was that part. New stuff they brought to the game. Well, what was new they brought to the game? They brought a couple of new crops. Whoop-de-doo. They weren't overly complex crops. I mean, they brought the olives and the grapes, so the vineyards. Yeah, okay, fine. Wasn't implemented as well as it could have been? No. Could they have done better? Definitely. But one thing with kudos to Giants is they did try something new. They brought in a new type of farming, and that was all well and good. The only problem with it is it was so fiddly, and this is again from my perspective. We started straight off with doing olives and grapes, vineyards. So we did vineyards here on Haut-Beyleron from day dot, and we did olives from day dot on Elm Creek, and it was just so slow, laborious, and time-consuming that basically we pissed it off. Hence, that's why now here on Haut-Beyleron we're using the greenhouse that does the olive and the grape production, because it does it a lot simpler and a lot easier, and there's not the time sink into it than what there needs to be. Now, I mean, I get the fact that there needs to be a time sink into producing it and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. But it was just too fiddly. It was too much of a pain in the bum. So that's the good and the bad for that. So, yep, good work, Giants. You brought a new crop to us, which we've all been asking for. But implementation could have been done a lot better. And since then, there's been a lot of changes again from the modding community that have made it better. This brings us to the other part of my eternal discussion of the fact that Farming Simulator, in its own rights, from Giants, would never be as successful as it has been without the modding community. And it's the modders that keep the game running. It's not Giants. So, I mean, really, even from the first day one release of the game, everyone really is hanging out for the mods. So, yeah. Okay. What else is the bad of FS22? Well, it's not just of FS22. It's just of their whole policy in general of catering predominantly to the console genre. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not about to slag off on console players. What I'm pertaining this particular part of the conversation to is, while Giants have specifically put themselves in a position where they want to maximize the money they're going to make from the consoles, which I get. It's their highest demographic of sales, and all that sort of stuff. It's easier to code, and that's why the gameplay has become more arcade, not pure simulation. All that sort of stuff. I get that. However, they have still not been able to, and this is partly because of Microsoft and Sony. They've not been able to break the gap between PC and console play. So, for instance, I was talking earlier about the production and how much more value the Dragon Den pack makes for the game. Well, unfortunately, the biggest majority of players that play the game are never going to be able to experience that because it won't work on consoles. This is because of the restrictive and prescriptive nature of the consoles, and the fact that they won't let anything code-wise run on the consoles. And look, I understand their reasons as to why and all that sort of stuff. Get that. Been there, done that thousands of times. But at the end of the day, the big bulk of players playing the game don't get to experience all the best parts of the game that modders are bringing to the game. Because virtually the vast majority of scripting mods, and let's face it, there's a hell of a lot of scripting mods out there that do make the game a lot better, are not available to PlayStation and Xbox players. Right? So, straight off the bat, that means they're never going to experience how good the game can actually be with those mods. And that's a shame. Not only for obviously the players, but also the Giants themselves, because their customer base is not going to have a higher level of satisfaction of the game that they could. Like I said before, I mean, the only reason really that I found myself still playing Farming Simulator 22 is from having the Dragon Den pack available. that is the reason why I've continued playing, because it's brought so much extra enjoyment to the game and interest that it's kept me going. So so yeah, it's a core component for my gameplay. And there may be others. Why does he not turn his lights on? Slacker. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, that's a sort of a bit of a shame for Giants. And I mean, it is outside of their control. I get that, but it is what it is, I suppose. All right. So that's why, by and large, I still think FS22 has been a success in my opinion. There's still elements of it I don't like. I won't get started on the horses again. We did talk about that briefly in the last episode. I think the horses are still ill-advised and not put in the game, maximise what they could be utilised for, all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, that's the way it is, and nothing I do or say will change that. And certainly, Giants can't change that fact with Microsoft and Sony. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But what they need to do is they need to look at whether there's any way they can change that, or have some sort of mechanism to basically have that reviewed, just for the simple sake of saving the gameplay for console players, so they get the same experience what the PC players get. I mean, realistically, probably never going to happen. I get it, but it'd be nice to at least try and actually sort of cater for that that experience for the console players. I mean, I feel quite sorry in a way sometimes for the console players, and certainly I know I got a couple of comments there recently of can I get the Dragon Den pack on console on PlayStation 5, or how do I get it? And it's a shame, really, because I mean, obviously they're seeing the value added play that's added to the game, but they're never able to get it if they've only got a console. They haven't got a PC that they can play it on, or whatever else. And it's a real shame. But at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, I mean, overall, I think FS22 has been a success in this 12 months. I'm going to say I don't think the DLCs have been anywhere near as successful in FS22. I don't know what the take-up has been for pumps and hoses. I don't know what the take-up is going to be for the Platinum Pack, and we've discussed that, I think, pretty much to death now. I'm not going to go into that too much with that, but I just don't know how much their customer base is going to be interested in doing that level of forestry. But you know what? Whatever they do decide to do, as in the player base, it'll be interesting to see. We'll never get to see the numbers. Whoops, I'm trying to turn the lights off and get off. Not to do that. We'll never actually see the true numbers, but it will be interesting to see what is going on. All right, so we've finished rolling those two fields there. I'm going to come back over here and see how our guy's doing over here. He's going off and baling really well. No problems there at all by the look of it. He's doing a fantastic job. So I guess what we need to do is we need to come and collect these bales, but I think we're going to have to do that in the next episode because we've very quickly run out of time. But yeah, so anyway, if you've stuck with me this long and listened to our little bit of a diatribe about Giants and FS22, then feel free to leave your comments down below. What do you think? Like, do you think I'm well off the mark in that commentary? Do you agree with everything I've said, or anything I've said, or nothing I've said? Let me know down below. And if you have some other differing thoughts, then please, again, let us know. And if you're a console player, do you find yourself to be, for want of a better term, jealous of the PC players and what they get with the modding community? Or are you perfectly happy with what you've got from your side of the life with FS22 on console? Anyway, If you like the episode, make sure you press that like button. If you didn't press the dislike button, either way, it helps with the algorithm, and you would be helping the channel immensely just by pressing that either one of those buttons. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and if you do subscribe, make sure you press that alarm notification icon as well. Be made aware of when new videos are available on the channel. Don't forget you can come and join us on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and Facebook. Sorry, not Twitch. We're not doing Twitch anymore. My bad. Twitter, Discord, and Facebook. Details down below in the description. And if you wish, you can also financially assist the channel, whether it be by Patreon, YouTube membership, or by a super chat. Details again are down below, or the little super chat button down below as well. Feel free. Never expected, but always truly greatly appreciated. Apart from anything else, take care of yourselves and loved ones, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Back here at Duxley Gaming and Haut-Beyleron. See you all later. Bye.